All right, guys, welcome back into another episode of To The Show Baseball podcast presented by Beyond the Monster. I am your host, Andrew Parker, and today's episode, we are diving into the Houston Astros organization. We have Parker Smith on, elite first name, who was drafted in 2024 by the Astros, and he is a hometown kid. Grew up in Houston, went to Rice, got drafted by the Astros. He really did hit the trifecta, so we do kind of talk about that. We talk about what he's kind of been up to this offseason and having a healthy offseason compared to last one. So that's been a big plus for him to get ready for the 2026 season, which is just right around the corner. And we do talk about a lot of food, and I know I always am talking about food in these things, but obviously when I get a Texas guy on the line, it is awesome to just hear his intakes. Because I appreciate the Texas food scene, and Houston's got some of the best food in the country. So we do talk about that as well. Before I do shoot to the interview, if you're watching me on YouTube right now, if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever it is that you are listening or watching, if you could just like and subscribe. I'm making a big push on the YouTube channel. It's brand new. It's got a little over 400 subscribers now. I'm trying to make a big push to 500, and we are getting close. So any subscribe is very much appreciated. But without further ado, let me shoot you on to the interview with Parker Smith. All right, I am joined by Parker Smith, who has one of the better first names in all of baseball, and I'm not really too biased, but I obviously, Parker, you're now entering into another year now in the Houston Astros organization, which is your hometown team for yourself. But I always like to get things started. Obviously, we're coming out of a long off season, just to see how are you doing? Like, what kind of things have you been up to since play stopped?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure to be on. But yeah, since the season ended, came back to Houston, been training here up at my alma mater at Rice. I've also taken that opportunity to kind of knock out some classes, getting, you know, working towards my degree that I had to cut short after my junior year. So I've been doing that, now I'm a student or I'm just a student now. I'm a NARP this past fall. But yeah, it's been a good off season. Um, you know, all my all my buddies around here are now working and everything, and so they're around and been doing that, going to football games and this and that. And so it's been a good off season for sure.
What can I ask what the degree is? What's your degree going towards?
My degree, so at Rice, it's a brand new business school. So it's business, it's concentration in management. We have two concentrations, management and finance. I'm not the best math guy out there, so I
Yeah,
kind of went
same.
for more for the people pleasers, people connection aspect of it instead of the grinding the numbers on it. So yeah.
Yeah, I actually chose journalism in college because it had the less literally I asked like where's the less math here, and they said journalism. So and I
Boom.
also love to write, but
Yeah, that's awesome.
not a numbers guy over here, so I can relate to that. Is it weird being back home in the off season, and like you said, a lot of your friends now that you kind of grew up with and your group is they, like you said, they all are working, they have like day jobs, and I know you're working out during the day and things like that, but I've talked to so many guys and they're just like, man, it is still weird that like I go back home and like all my buddies are just working, like they have their jobs, and it's like I'm
Yeah,
not working right now. Is that a weird feeling?
it is a little weird. I have kind of two sectors of it. Like some of my buddies are full time working, and some guys are doing like their masters, their fifth year. I have a lot of friends that go to A&M, and that's a hop, skip, and a jump away from Houston. So they're still kind of in school doing like they're doing like internships in Houston, and then they're going back to school in College Station. So I kind of see them, but yeah, it is weird. You can't just call them up. Hey, what are you doing? At 2 or 3 o'clock when you get done with everything during the day, you gotta, kind of just sit there and figure stuff out on your own. But yeah,
Yeah, I do feel like that's a little interesting for yourself because obviously your day job is your entire summer and everything, and you're gone doing your thing. But and that kind of leads me to where I'd like to begin. And obviously you are coming off of your first full pro season, and and obviously you had some successes. I'm sure you had a lot of challenges you had to get through as well. Looking back at the year now that you've had some time to kind of decompress and really like take in what you went through last year, how would you describe how you did in your first full
Mhm.
season?
Well, my season kind of, I wouldn't say got off to a hot start. In November of 2024, I ended up having back surgery to repair a slip disc in my back. Um, so that was kind of unfortunate, not the start of a professional career that you kind of wanted. And so I reported the first week of January to rehab in West Palm Beach. So I was there. So from surgery to getting released, going out to an affiliate was around 8 months. I was in Florida for from January to June, um, and so there was a build up. Getting back in the weight room, getting back in shape. Throwing and all that. So that was a slow build up that kind of threw a wasn't the best kind of timing on anything, but you kind of got to roll with the punches. It happens, make the most of it. And I definitely did. I feel like when I got sent out to an affiliate, there was, I was kind of learning on the fly. I didn't really have a spring training. So that those first 6 weeks of being in Fayetteville were kind of my spring training where I'm figuring stuff out on the fly. With, it's a, I did throw an FCL. So, but the caliber isn't necessarily the same in terms of hitters. And you're also, learning and figuring out your body and everything on how that's coming off the surgery and everything. So it was not a challenge at first. It kind of took a little time to get used to, get back into the routine. Oh, this is pitching. I remember how to do this. So the first 6 weeks, on paper, it looked good. But there was definitely some challenges in there, just kind of figuring out who I am as a professional pitcher, and kind of stuff down that line. What works, what doesn't work, pitch wise, um, and then figuring out just really how to pitch all over again. But yeah, so the first 6 weeks, kind of up until the All Star break, was I kind of got thrown into it, and then had a week off All Star break, and then I kind of really settled in, kind of just rolled into it a little bit easier. There wasn't as much pressure. I was like, I'm good, and then that's kind of where I started making some steps in the right direction, um, and seeing the results that I wanted for sure.
I feel like that's got to be such a hard thing to do, and especially in your case where you were drafted in 2024, you didn't debut, and you go straight. You have the injury, you
Hmm.
don't have a regular offseason, you don't get to
Hmm.
build up like you would like to. You don't have a regular spring training. It's supposed to be your first professional spring training, which is always a hard one.
Hmm.
And you just kind of got to roll into the season after not having your healthy off season, your healthy spring training, and those are your first.
For sure.
So this time around, like when you're going into the off season here, your 2025 off season into your 26 spring training, and has it what have been the differences for yourself? Are you feeling like you're in well, obviously you're in a much better spot because I'm
For
assuming you're
sure.
healthy,
Yes,
but
sir.
is that something that has really you think you'll notice early on in your 2026 season?
I think there's just a little shift in how you, like process wise. Instead of like working to get healthy, now it's working instead of trying to build up just to go be able to play and like get out back on the field. Now it's like, okay, I'm here, I'm there. Now let's see how far we can push it. In terms of getting back in the weight room, having that off season, a healthy off season was really beneficial to me, being able to work on my body, being able to you know get faster, get stronger, work on the mental side of things, and being more I was just less worried about stuff. Am I going to be able to get back to where I was or whatever it was? Now it's like, okay, I'm there. Now let's again see how far we can push it. And so it definitely is a different mindset for sure, and I would say a better one. And I think I've done a really good job this off season, getting the body right, getting prepared for spring training, for my first spring training technically. Um, and so yeah, I think it's been a good process, and then but again, I'm excited for it. So yeah.
So the official report date for Major League Spring Training and pitchers and catchers is just next week, and we're
Hmm.
going to hear about all the media going down to every single camp, and you're going to hear all these players say they're in the best shape of their life, and it's just the best shape of life season. That's what we call it. And you didn't get to have that last year, I'm assuming, when you
Right.
were rehabbing. I'm assuming you probably weren't in the best shape of your life, but
No,
are we getting best shape of life season this year?
I would say so. I would say
Okay.
so. I think just having that weight lifted off your shoulders. I'm like, hey, I'm healthy. I'm good. Uh, you know, um, I don't have to worry about, well, is my back gonna be able to handle it? Am I instead of like creeping around it, now we can just go full force straight at just getting better and again stronger, getting stronger, moving more weight, all this stuff, and then being able to actually like you know be able to be on the mound and work on stuff instead of just building up to be able to get sent out. So yeah, for sure. I'm excited for it. And, like I said, it's going to be fun.
I always like fact checking our friends over at Baseball Reference here, and they have you listed at 6'4", 230. Where are you rolling into this season? Is that even accurate? I always have to ask that too.
I think I always give myself, I would probably say like no shoes. I'm like 6'2" and like 3/4.
We'll give you a
So
6'4".
give give me a 6'3" with cleats on the mound, the whole, maybe the hat's up a little bit. It
Maybe
looks
got
like
some extra
6'4".
hair going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly.
Okay.
So, realistically, I'll, someone asks, I'm like, I'm 6'3". So, 6'4" in cleats, you know, you had some pumps in there, you know, you can just keep building it up. But yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I always like to ask that, mostly not because of the height thing. 'Cause obviously, being 6'3", 6'4", I mean, whatever.
yeah,
It's all kind of the same thing. But I think the weight thing is a big thing, and I'm hearing from a lot of guys that are showing up to camp, and a lot of the pitchers, especially, where I was just talking to a guy last week, and he was telling me like, hey, like I usually go into the season at like 230, but I'm trying to go into 250 because I'm going to lose some weight. And it's like,
y-
I want to be like strong throughout the year. So like, how are you kind of, sitting at these days, and where would you like your playing weight to be?
yeah, for sure. I think so. They got the 6'4", 230 from Rice, I would
Okay.
say. And I've sat around 230 for a good 3 or 4 years now. It's always, plus or minus three in there. I like playing at 230, but I think the difference this year is the 230 is a little bit more of a beefier 230 than a chunkier 230. So you got a little bit more muscle mass on that, which is good. Again, paying off from the weight room. But for some reason, my body loves being right at 230, no matter what's going on, what the body composition says. So, which is good. So it's
Yeah, it's
it's
not a bad
that's
thing.
accurate. No,
Okay. Yeah, it could definitely be a lot worse.
for sure.
And I know some guys obviously go into camp and they're like, "Hey, I'm at this weight," and then a month later, it's they're like, "Well, I don't even know what happened. Like, lost all that. Like, it just some things happen." But with obviously, we've been talking about your healthy off season and just kind of having a little sense of normalcy going on
Hmm.
with your routines. What kind of things have you been able to work on from last year? Like, have you been tweaking the arsenal a little bit? Have you doing any velo programs? Like, what have you been up to?
Yeah. So I think going at the end of last off season, or at the end of the season last year, we had our little game plan going into the off season. Hey, this is what we want. And I think the arsenal, everyone thinks that the arsenal is solid. I got a 5 pitch mix. Um, from a low 3/4 slot. I think the biggest thing is just the stuff gets better when you add velo to it, and so seeing how much we can push that. And so I'm really excited, kind of excited to see, with the work that I put in, what we're going to get out of that going forward. So if we can average a mile an hour more, everything else plays a little bit, better. Um, and so yeah, that's really about it.
You can tell me to pass, and you can gatekeep this if you want, and I'm
Okay.
totally okay with this. But where have you do you know where you've been sitting on indoor bullpens, things like that, velocity wise?
Um, right now we're on like a kind of a tiered level. We have like velo thresholds. So we haven't hit the max peak intent yet. We're we're in the three of the third range of four right now. So I threw my first live outing last week in Florida at the camp that they were putting on out there. So um, I don't know. It was, and that was I think 91, 93. So I was comfortably sitting in there, kind of just easy. Um, so which is good, I guess. But we'll kind of see once we get into that 4-4 and into full blown games what that kind of looks like.
Yeah, I apologize. I mean, obviously, as you know, I mean, if you're a social media guy or anything, that fans love velocity.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
very, and I mean, it's for good reason. I mean, like you just mentioned, more velocity, more success. Just it's all hand in hand. So I always like to ask, and I know obviously you're not at a point where you're going 100% yet. So
Mhm.
I didn't want to like try to be like, hey, where you at? You're only at 92. Like, yikes! But no, we're good.
Some guys are different. Some guys are out here hitting 100 in January, and I'm just like, I don't know how they're
I
doing
must be
that.
nice, man.
Congrats. Good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone's kind of different. Everyone has a different buildup. Um, you know, Everyone kind of says once there's a batter on the box and fans in the seats, it's totally different. You got some adrenaline pumping. So, well, I'm looking forward to that and seeing where we're at.
Yeah, there not everybody's a freak, man. I mean, we saw I was just scrolling social media the other day and I saw Peyton Tolley throwing a pin up at his place in Oklahoma that he works out and he was already hitting like 98 and it's like, dude, it
Well,
is.
Peyton Tolley is 6'6" and 260 pounds, 65,
Yeah.
70 pounds. He is a freak as it gets. And
Yeah.
once he stopped hitting, then he can fully, kind of like a Paul Skeen situation. Once he stopped hitting, he always jokes about, yeah, I saw he's like, you're like, well, why'd you stop hitting? He's like, well, I couldn't get within a foot of the ball, whatever it is. I couldn't hit the ball. But, once he's fully focused on pitching. He is a
Oh yeah.
freak, and it's no, everything that he's done and has accomplished is just a testament to him. He's a great person, so and gone through a lot, so it's great for him.
Oh yeah, no, definitely, and it's those now I'm starting to see, obviously with a guy like his story and getting drafted and
Yeah.
going through everything. Same with Dre Savage last year. You're starting to see more and
Hmm.
more of these guys, and they're awesome to see, but they are not normal. So
No,
it is not a
no,
normal thing what they're doing.
no. And what's funny is I played with Peyton Tolley in summer ball the year after our freshman year for the Santa Barbara Foresters, and let's just say like he was a hitter and his BP was really impressive and everyone and but I would that guy's taken so many strides in the right direction and to be where he is today, and it's just awesome to see.
Very, very impressive, man. It's they're also putting Oklahoma on the map. There are so many guys coming out
They
of
are.
Oklahoma. I don't know
Oh
if
yeah.
that's a bad thing for I know the Texas Oklahoma guys kind of have a little bit of rivalry, but um,
We don't really pay attention to them. They're have it, they'll have it, good for them, tip your cap, but yeah, it's good.
all right, good answer. I still rank Texas higher than Oklahoma on the talent level. I mean,
All
it's
time,
it's
well, you
it's a
got to look
given.
at the all time, but you also got to think per capita or whatever it is.
Yeah,
So we'll
that's
see.
fair.
Yeah,
Look at you being nice. I love it. But that I did want to ask as well. I know we kind of talked about it earlier, but
yeah,
it's something that I think is very unique. And you're a Houston guy. You went to Rice, which is also in Houston, and you got drafted by Houston. So it's like you
yeah.
kind of hit the trifecta there. I don't know how that happened because most guys are not ever really that lucky.
No.
What has that been like, just being part of the hometown organization and being able to wear a Houston Astros uniform?
Well, I mean, it's a dream come true. Coming around draft time, it was kind of a shot in the dark. I was like, did not expect that to happen for them to be the first call that I got on draft day, at least that I know of from my agent. And so that was it was an immediate yes, and I mean a privilege to be able to to wear and to represent Houston, even more so. So I have a lot of pride with that, and being able to represent being maybe 15 minutes away, living growing up 15 minutes away from Minute Maid or Daikin or whatever you want to say. I'll say Minute Maid till the time I die. But it is really surreal, and definitely not taking this opportunity for granted for sure.
I do, like I said, I feel like you got incredibly lucky. I'm assuming you were a massive Astros fan growing up, and I just had to take a peek at the year you were born. That's tough, but it's making me feel a lot older. But one of my favorite teams growing up that I first got to see was the 2005 Astros, and that was you were only 2, so I don't know if you really remember that. But
No, I don't
that team was
remember it, but
incredible.
I mean, it was the 0405 teams were unreal. Bagwell was still there, Biggio was still there, and
Killer
now
bees,
it's even
man.
crazier. The killer beat Berkman was there. Berkman went to Rice. Berkman is currently on the coaching staff at Rice right now, so he's helping out and just being able to interact with Biggio and Bagwell. Not at spring training and around is just kind of, I mean, it's surreal. It blows my mind. I would never in a million years have thought about it. And growing up, when I was before 2013, we're the Astros, and then going into the golden era and being able to, I went to my fair share of all the playoff games, and it's just really surreal to be able to one day potentially step on that field and wear the jersey is going to be something that I'm very much looking forward to.
Do you have any memories, or were you a little too young, of the center field hill with the pole and everything?
Oh yeah, Talso.
That's one
I
of my
mean, I
favorite
remember
things
it.
of all time.
I remember it's phenomenal. I was at a game once, so there was a streaker,
Oh,
and
okay.
the streaker went, or not streaker, but he
Yeah, yeah.
wasn't
Somebody
naked
ran
or
on the
anything,
field.
but
Yeah.
just someone hightailed it out of there, and they went from like the third base. They ran past third base, straight shot to center field, went up on Tow's Hill, climbed over the fence, and then kept climbing and got out of there. And so that's what I remember of Tow's Hill.
Wow.
So pretty cool. Obviously it's not they're not televising
Yeah.
the streaker. So I don't know if you can find it. Someone will be able to find it, but still that was pretty cool.
Dude, I used to love, like, I forgot if it was like Chris Burke or Michael Bourne or somebody, and they
Uh-huh.
used to make like those catches, like not even looking at home plate, and they were like going up the hill and like
Oh,
landing. It's
yeah.
like something so unique. Like,
It's so unique, and the flagpole was in play,
yeah, it's
and it was like,
weird.
420 feet, away from home plate, the flagpole's in play. You got to dodge that while going up the hill and, tracking it down. I mean, it's a great addition, I guess. I don't know if, I don't think as many players appreciate it, but it's still
No,
very
no,
cool,
definitely not.
very cool to
It's
have.
you'll never see it again either.
No, no,
So it was a once in a lifetime thing, because it's like kind of like a hazard a little bit, which I can understand.
yeah.
So yeah, it was cool, and I was hoping you did remember some of it, because I forgot when they took that out, but
I
I
think it
knew it was.
was right before. It was like 2016
Yeah,
because
okay, yeah, you
the year
remember
that
this.
the year that they took it out, the next year they had the batter's eye and it has the Astros and everything. And then during the 2017 playoffs, YouTube TV was coming out, and they bought the naming rights, I guess, during the World Series. So the YouTube TV was on the batter's eye. I remember for whatever reason I remember that, and so that was like the first year, and then the Astros won it that year. So maybe it was kind of a curse,
Yeah,
Telltale
it was
curse.
lifted.
Maybe I don't know,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was cool.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I saw the birth year, and I'm like, man, like this is tough, but because I was born in the '90s, so I do remember those Astros in the early 2000s quite well, and I loved watching them playing MVP baseball with the Killer Bees. Man, it was incredible.
Oh
But
yeah,
all right, I always like to. I know some of these questions are coming, so I apologize, but I do like to get to know some guys off the field a little bit. The first time I
let's
ever
do it.
talked to you, and this is today. But I will say, I do like to do a little bit of studying on some guys, and maybe ask around to some guys that possibly play with, aka Will Bush, or some other
Hmm.
guys, just to see if I can try to find out who you are. But if somebody follows you on Instagram or social media, you are baseball. Like that is who you are. It's all baseball. So I got to know, like, what are you doing off the field when you're not training, you're not playing? Like, what are you doing?
Oh man. Yeah, I've actually thought about that. I'm like, I probably should diversify my Instagram just a little bit.
Nothing's wrong with
You
it.
know, not
Nothing's wrong.
nothing's wrong with it, but show some depth, maybe a little bit. I do a lot of cool stuff. I just don't really post it.
Gotta start documenting,
Um,
man.
yeah, exactly. So that's actually was my one of my New Year's resolutions was I got to take more pictures doing cool stuff that I do with the boys wherever it is. So maybe we'll have a little dumper here, some
There it
in
is.
a little bit. I don't know. But yeah, I very much love college football. College
Okay.
football is, um, yeah, like anything college football. So I grew up a Texas Longhorn fan, Colt McCoy, Jordan Shipley, those years, Mac Brown wasn't really alive or don't remember Vince Young, obviously in the 2005, but grew up massive Texas Longhorn fans. My parents both went to Texas, and so of college football in and out. And I'm trying to like hit every single spot. So this
Oh,
year we went to um, Death Valley at LSU and watched
good spot.
the A&M LSU game with a couple of my buddies. I went to the Cotton Bowl and watched the Texas OU game, which was very fun. I was decked out in burnt orange and we're in the OU section, and they did not like me. Let's just say that. Um,
You got the
and
win.
so we got the win. That was coming. I got high hopes for Arch this year. So we'll see how that kind of shakes up. Hopefully, whenever they rank Texas too high, they don't earn it. They don't do anything.
Oh,
Whenever
don't
they,
look at the preseason rankings for next year because they already
exactly.
came out.
Oh, well, I think we're like 3, which is fine.
Number two. Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right, dang. But still, so hopefully the horns will get it done. But that is my only connection to the University of Texas is just football. I'm a Longhorn football fan. That's where it ends. But college football through and through. Just going to different Kyle Field. Actually went to the Texas OU or Texas A&M game at Kyle Field 2024. So that was the first year they brought it back, which was unreal experience. But yeah, just doing that. Um, Going outside, golf. As a pitcher, I'm kind of able to play golf a little bit more.
Yeah. There it is.
So really got into that in the last couple years since I've been drafted in Florida. We got a lot of great courses out there. Lose a little bit too many balls, it's okay. So that's all I asked for Christmas was just golf balls. So
We
we've
all
already
need them.
gone. Yeah, exactly. So doing that. But I'm just, I'm simple. I don't really, I love exploring, going out and finding new places to eat wherever I'm at on the road, trying to find a nice like breakfast spot or, find a nice, cool, easy morning coffee spot, breakfast before we, go to the field or whatever, in whatever spot we're going to. But yeah, I mean, that kind of sums it up. Kind of simple through and through.
Okay. I was just looking something up because I wanted to follow up with this. And I was curious how many SEC schools have you hit so far?
Okay, let me see. So Texas, Texas A&M, um,
Yeah, that was you in there.
OU, LSU. I'm hoping. Oh my God, my dog's going nuts over there. And so that's what we hit this year. Um, I've been to. I got this. I mean, that's really about it. I'm not.
Okay.
I got to slowly start expanding outside of Texas. But anywhere in Texas, been to Baylor, been to Texas Tech, TCU, SMU. Um, all those good schools. So done all those. So I got to start expanding outside of Texas now.
Okay. I'm gonna put something. You need to put something on your calendar for
All right, let's do
this
it.
next football season. My I'm very SEC biased because I went
Okay.
to an SEC school. SEC school. People still hate on us for it, but I am a University of Missouri guy,
Okay.
and Texas comes to Columbia, Missouri this November 7th this year, and
Okay.
I'm assuming Texas is going to have their way with Mizzou because we are not very good right now. So I feel like that might be a great game for you to go to. And
Yeah, that'd be
people in
fun.
Columbia,
That'd be
so
fun.
nice.
Yeah. Well, I think I have a couple teammates. Bryce Mayer is
There he is,
in the
Mizzou guy.
org,
Yeah,
Mizzou guy, right? So I have to go take a trip up there to Columbia and
you
see
have to,
Bryce.
man. The
That'd
Midwest
be
people will treat you well. They'll be nice. They're not gonna be mean. They're not gonna, they'll be good people. I promise.
okay.
So,
Okay.
and the stadium is brand new. They just did like a
Okay.
huge renovation, so it's gonna be nice this
I
next
did.
year.
I did see that. I think I don't know what game I was watching, but all the construction workers were all watching the
It was
game.
bad.
But yeah.
Okay, so put that one as a maybe
Awesome.
next year.
I
Try to
will.
get up to
I will.
Columbia. Their brand new stadium should be okay. We have Ole Miss's old quarterback. Who knows if he's gonna be any good or not? But yeah, we'll see. But all
Awesome.
right, I know you know this question's coming, and I think it's a very important question because I think it says a lot about somebody. And I always love asking guys for the first time. You already know it's happening, so just give it to me. I need a Mount Rushmore here of your fast food chains, whether they're sit down or drive through, and
Okay.
they got to be like accessible, like a
Yeah.
little bit around the country.
Okay.
So what do you got? Your top
Somewhat
four?
well known, not just a mom and pop. I
Yeah,
gotcha. Okay.
because those are cheat codes. Like those are going to be better.
Well, I'm gonna. I always die on this mountain.
Oh no.
Everyone hates on it, but Whataburger.
Oh,
Whataburger.
that's not a hot
Everyone's like
take.
Whataburger is not it, and I'm like, Whataburger has everything that you possibly could need,
You're hanging
burgers,
around
we
too many
got
California
breakfast.
guys.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
Breakfast, taquitos, are money. You get your Hub Chub, um, and then you can get anything anywhere in between. You can get a salad if you really want to. Uh, let's
Not
see.
healthy.
I gotta go. I gotta go Chick-fil-A. I gotta go Chick-fil-A. I am a frequenter of Chick-fil-A.
That's fair.
I I got way too many points on the app. I'm like a platinum member or whatever it is. Um,
Yeah.
so
Slight flex. I
um,
love it.
then are we talking just any chain?
Yeah, it can be sit down, it can be drive through, it can be anything.
I think. I mean, Canes. You got to throw Canes in there.
Okay. Two
Um,
chickens.
Caniac. I mean, that's kind of just what I frequent around here. Um, on the road, you kind of have a little bit, when you're DoorDash and stuff to the hotel, you kind of get your pick of whatever it is. So, if they have canes, I'll probably take a look at that depending on, I got to do a gut check before,
Oh yeah.
because you'll be sweating grease out for a good little bit after that. Um, I don't know if I gotta say there's a chain in Texas and it's called Cabo Bob's.
Never heard
I
of it.
know they have it in Houston. I know they have it in Austin. I know they have it in Dallas. I don't know where else. Cabo Bob's, think Chipotle, but like gourmet Chipotle. They make the um, they make the tortillas right in front of you. Like you order it. They have 4 different types of tortillas that you can get. Spicy cheddar, buttermilk. There's a cilantro one, lime and cilantro. They right there, bang on it, and it's just really fresh stuff. They're more burritos. They got tacos. They got this. They got that. Pretty much anything you want. But and then every single time you go, you get a punch card, and every 7th burrito that you buy is free. So you get a punch card, and so you're going. I mean, you could get a free burrito every week if you really, frequent that pretty often. So I would say that's kind of the rounded
Yeah,
out.
this place looks legit. I already looked it up, and I'll let it. I'm gonna accept this one because they do have
Okay.
locations all over Houston, Austin, and San Antonio. So
Okay. Money.
they weren't in the Dallas area because I was living up there for a little bit, but I was frequenting Torchy's Tacos. But I probably would have frequented this place if that was an option.
Torches is a
Looks good.
solid option for sure. I don't know. You just,
That looks good, man. I'm with it. I would put that on there. Just from the photos alone, that place looked
Oh yeah,
phenomenal. So
it is. It's
I
money.
will accept that top four. I mean, this is an unofficial podcast sponsored by Zaxby, so
Unofficially.
but unofficially, but I will accept Canes and Chick-fil-A on that as well. And something that was a hot take on our recent interview with Trey Cruz was barbecue. So
Okay.
people obviously, if they're from the state of Texas, live there, know anything about Texas barbecue. It's a real thing. It's legit. It's better than I grew up in the Midwest. St. Louis barbecue. It's good. Trust me, Texas a lot better. So Grant Anderson pointed me. He's a former Texas Ranger,
Okay.
and he's from actually down in the Houston area.
Okay.
I asked him, I'm like, where am I going for barbecue in the state of Texas? And he gave me the best place I ever had in my entire life.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you this question. Where is the best place to get barbecue in the state of Texas?
In the state of Texas, I mean, you think of like your upper echelon, like the touristy spots. You got like Terry
Yeah.
Black's,
Yeah.
right? You go
It's
there,
great. But
you're gonna drop a C note there, for two people, right? Because you got to get
very
everything.
good. Don't get me wrong.
You got
But
to. It's phenomenal. I mean, they got a Michelin star. They
yeah.
got the whole thing. It's great. I think, especially in the Houston area, there's Truth Barbecue, there's Pinkertons, there's Good Company Barbecue, which
Okay.
is kind of a chain. Um, so they have like seafood, Mexican. So those are all solid options. My one for Texas barbecue is Luling, Luling Barbecue. It is a location obviously started in Luling, Texas. They have two locations, one in Luling, Texas, one I think it's called Luling Country Store. Um, they have their second location is in the Galleria area in Houston off of Richmond, and that's my one right there.
Okay. Wow. This is definitely this does look like a hidden gem. Wow.
It is. I would definitely say a hidden gem. I took I my agent was in town. He's like, "Hey, you want to let's get lunch on a Sunday." And he's like, "Where are you?" I'm coming in from the Woodlands. I was like, "Okay, let's meet right in the middle." And I guess he was staying with his sister-in-law, his in-laws, or something like that. And he was like, "Yeah, have you ever heard of Luling Barbecue?" And his sister's husband goes, "I eat there twice a week." Right that in there. That's where we go after work. And he's like, "All right, like I'm good. Like that's a solid place." You go in there. The owner actually went to Rice. He played basketball
Oh,
at Rice back in the day, and so they kind of had some Rice memorabilia. They got the in there, so they're repping the Owls in there. But I think it's the best barbecue sauce in
okay.
in Texas. Now, obviously, I'm biased, but
I mean, I'm always down to try it, and I like having these in my tool belt just in case I ever am maybe going down to Houston, surrounding
love it.
area, anything. Trying to go to any of the a Round Rock game, try to get down there, like whatever it is. I
Hmm.
like it because as of today, Hutchins Barbecue in Frisco, Texas, is by far the
Okay.
best I've ever had. But I'm willing to try that. So
Okay.
put
I
it to the
have
test.
not been able to. I haven't. I got to do like a grand tour of barbecue in Texas. You just got to. You do a whole week long road trip, just hitting every single spot. I don't
It's
know if
gonna
you get
take
burnt
longer than
out
a
or
week,
whatnot.
man.
Oh, well, you got to hit. Highlight. Go week up, go north, and then hit them on the way down too. So
Yeah,
definitely in the Austin, Dallas area. I have not tried too
yeah.
many. Houston area. Yeah, there's a lot of really solid spots.
Yeah, was not expecting to find that in Frisco because Frisco's a little city oriented now. It's not too far from where they're building like
Hmm.
the Universal Park, and I'm like, I don't know if this is really the right spot, but it was really really good.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, shout out to Grant Anderson, Justin Slayton also gave me that one. So two Houston guys that gave me that, so I did
There you go.
appreciate them. All right, last question. I will let you slide here. Obviously, we are about a week away from official
Yep.
report, like we talked about earlier, and you're about to hit spring training and into the season. what are you most excited about this year? Like, what is something that you, I guess, just like cannot wait to get started for? Like, what are you looking forward to the most?
Well, I think I'm really excited to be able to one have a health, an actual spring training. This be my first spring training, being healthy, being in it, being with the guys. I was little on my own little island in rehab last year. We interact. You interact with everyone, but it's just not the same. And to be able to, really kind of see how you stack up, and then I think the biggest thing is just being able to talk to your teammates, doing when you're doing live at bats, when you're doing this, when you're doing that, being like, hey, what you see there? How did you, you know, oh man, this is really good. This is, I like that sequencing of things. Getting that feedback that you normally wouldn't get other than, just bad swings or check swings or takes, you aren't really, you can't really, pick the other guy's brain across, across the field. So being able to do that, and again, just kind of having fun, just going out there and being loose and having fun, being where your feet are and just going out and playing the game that you love, um, is really going to be um, I'm looking forward to in this spring training. And I don't really care where how things shake down, where guys are sent and whatnot. That's out of my control. Just being able to control what I can control, do what I can, put the best foot forward, and show everyone what I can do, and be able to learn on the go. And as we're going throughout the season, that I'm really kind of looking forward to that.
Yeah, you already have half the battle fought there by the phrase. I've heard literally that same phrase from about 6 or 7 guys in player development, a couple different orgs, where you got to be where your feet are. It's like that's not, you can't control where you're starting when you
Yeah.
get promoted. I mean, you can perform on the field, but it's truly not up to you. So that's half the battle, man. Just be where your feet are, and I love that. Well, Parker, I do appreciate all the time, and I did tell Trey this, but next off season, us three might have to just do a food podcast in the off season, and I
That'd
feel
be
like
good.
we could talk for hours, man.
Food reviews, going out, getting that Instagram, doing the whole thing,
Yep.
doing that would be phenomenal.
I'll come down to Houston, man.
That'd be great.
I don't
That'd be
mind it.
great. Oh man, I mean, I think Houston by far is the best food city. Obviously, you have like New York and Boston, but I feel like it's just so diverse.
Yep.
I have 3 or 4 Vietnamese spots that I go to. I got 3 or 4 Chinese spots that I go to. I got 3 or 4 sushi spots that I go to, and they're all great. And then there's more that you're like, oh my gosh, I've never heard of this. I'm gonna go check it out. You go to get some Indian food. You're like, I've never really had Indian food. This is great, and it's some hole in the wall, and or you go into some Mexican joint, down wherever. You're like, I don't really know what I'm getting myself into.
Oh, but
You
it's
go
always
in, and it
amazing.
is phenomenal. My dad always is very big on that. He's like taking us to the spots that no one would go, right? And he's like, you found it when you're the only English speaking, especially, Mexican restaurants or this, that, when you got to
Oh yeah.
order in Spanish, you got to whip the Spanish out and try to order. That's where you found it. It's authentic and it's great. And
Oh
those are
yeah.
the places that you always look for.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I obviously am a little biased from living in the Boston area, but I do think that area and Houston can probably compete with each other on it.
Oh yeah,
But
for sure.
so next off season, maybe we don't even
Let's
talk
do it.
baseball. We're gonna do food. But
We're doing food. We're doing food.
all
We
right,
might we might be we might have to watch the figure a little bit, but we'll do it. That'd be fun.
best shape of the live season's in trouble.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
Parker, I do appreciate you hopping on, obviously doing this, and wishing you best of luck in 2026. But thank you again.
Thank you very much for having me.